Yo yoid, what's up people? I started off this video by saying yo. Do you know what else starts with yo? Yoga. In fact, I had my very first experience of hot yoga last week. Yoga is something that has intrigued me for some time now. I read a lot about the benefits, and personally I like to get into a consistent routine of at least stretching every day. My experience with hot yoga was great. I found it was a challenging experience. It worked on my flexibility, it worked on my stability, and it worked on my strength. If you don't think that yoga is really that strenuous on your muscles at all, or it's that much of a workout, think again, because you have to hold different postures using a lot of your body weight a lot of the time. I actually went twice last week. The first day I feel like I did pretty good. The second day, what I found was I was very faint, lightheaded, and I had a lot more low energy. I felt I was able to keep my breath and I was able to physically do all of the moves, but my energy levels were very low. And what I realized at that moment, I felt as if I had a very low blood sugar. And I thought about my day and realized that I only had one piece of fruit and a banana earlier in the day, and that's the only amount of sugar I had all day. So that's one thing I liked about hot yoga. It gave me a lot of body awareness. I felt the feelings in my body, and it helped me realize that I wasn't eating enough sugars in that day. Yoga is a good challenge, but at the same time it's not so strenuous where I should have felt the way that I did. So it brought awareness to myself of where I was at that particular day. From that point on, I could say, hey, you know what? I should monitor how much I'm eating that day and make sure that doesn't happen again, especially if I want to get into a habit of regularly going to yoga or doing yoga, which is something I want to do. Another thing that I liked about it is that it has a smaller risk for injury, in my opinion, than something like lifting weights or doing something that's very strenuous and high impact. Now, don't get me wrong, you could do these things in safe ways. You could lift weights in safe ways, but the thing is, you need to know more about what you're doing. You have to use proper posture, have strong stabilizer muscles, use control movements, and to really prevent you from injury, you really have to know what you're doing. If you don't really know what you're doing, you might take the weights and jerk them too fast and get into the risk of hurting yourself. If you have poor posture while you're lifting weights, say you're doing some curls and you have poor hunched over posture while you're doing it, over time deteriorates your posture. One person who talks a lot about this subject here on YouTube is Elliot Hulse. Now, he is a weightlifter, a bodybuilder, and he talks all the time about the importance of building your posture and stabilizer muscles being the most important things. And an example I remember, he talked about people using machines at the gym. Say there's a guided machine where you lift weights over your head. It's on a track, so you don't have to worry about keeping stable. You just lift the weight. Now, granted, that builds a lot of muscle because you're using your muscles to push up all of that weight, but it is guided. So the issue with that is that it's not working on your stabilizer muscles. The machine is stabilizing it for you. So if you used free weights, then you are also building your stabilizer muscles at the same time. What he said was, if you're building your muscles and not your stabilizer muscles, it's like having a cannon on the canoe. You have these big powerful muscles or a big powerful cannon, but it's on a weak foundation. It's on a flimsy little canoe. So you might have all these big muscles, but if you have posture problems, stabilizer muscle problems, you are at a higher risk for injury. So say that you were running and you tripped and you fell on your arm, you might have big muscles on your arm, but you're much more likely to tear something, have poor posture, and stuff like that. Again, I have nothing against weight training or lifting weights or anything like that, but you should be working on the foundations, the structural integrity of your body before you start just huffing up weights. It's the type of thing where ignorance is not bliss. If you don't know what you are doing, then you are not as safe in what you are doing. Another thing about posture and body language is your posture and body language determine a lot on what is going on in your mind, your thoughts, and your emotions. Now, say that you lifted weights in a poor posture, you had like a hunched over posture, and you lifted, you did some curls over and over again, and you worked out 3 to 5 times a week. Now, over a time, that muscle is going to build in that posture, and over time, your posture starts to creep forward. What that does is, one, it closes off the muscles in your chest, which means that oxygen has a harder time making its way through the body and the lungs. When you have a harder time breathing, getting insufficient oxygen, then it is much harder to cope with your emotions. So, believe it or not, your posture, if you get a hunched over posture, you're more likely to have stress in your life, be irritable in your life, get angrier over smaller things. So really, your posture does affect your entire life. The way you think. When you are in emotional stress, then the thoughts in your minds will reflect that. The way you act or behave towards other people will be affected by this, and the way other people perceive you will be affected by this as well. If you have poor posture or body language, that is read subconsciously from the people that see you, that are around you. If you have hunched over posture, you may appear as less confident, and therefore people perceive you as a less confident person. And that is what I like about yoga. It focuses on posture, it focuses on structural integrity, and it focuses on the stabilizer muscles. At the same time, it builds strength. It builds strength all over your body. It builds strength in your core, your legs, your arms, and it's also tough enough to get your heart rate going a little bit. The hot yoga itself too meant that the room was very warm and hot, and it promoted a lot of sweating. And what's great about sweating is that you sweat out all of the toxins that are in your body. Toxins from food or the environment. That's not great for your body. So sweating that stuff out is very good for your health as well. So in the end, I find yoga really covers all of the foundations. So even if I were to commit to other physical activities, so say I wanted to start weight training, or jogging or running, or do some sort of martial art, I still feel that posture, structural integrity, and these types of things are the foundations. So I would continually do the yoga work and then add the other physical activities on top of that. Alright, I think I rambled on enough. So it's time for the question of the day. What is your favorite sport, physical activity, or way of getting exercise? Please leave a comment down below. Mike Marino video.